Namaskar, I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive session. You are watching our online training program on digital wellness on PM eVidya channels 6 to 12 and also on our YouTube handle NCERT Official. This training program is brought to you by Central Institute of Educational Technology, that is CIET NCERT, in collaboration with Department of Educational Psychology and Foundations of Education NCERT New Delhi. Today we are in day 5 of the training session. Yes, it's the last day and the topic that we are taking up is from awareness to action. That is building a culture of digital wellness. For all these days we have been talking about digital wellness. We have been taking different themes under the umbrella theme, and we have learned so far that how important it is to maintain our emotional and mental health along with our physical fitness by keeping a check on our consumption of e-content or digital material that is right there. Though we have our presence on various social media platforms, on digital platforms, but we need to understand that we have to have a balance. Like we have a balanced diet for our physical fitness, similarly for our mental fitness, we need to have a balance of e-content that we are consuming. And here, since we are talking about not just students, but all the individuals, professionals, and general public alike, it is important that we do follow certain guidelines that are for our well-being. So how we can have digital wellness in place, what are the actionable points, and how awareness is the key, that we will discuss in the session today. If you wish to participate, please feel free to get in touch with us. Our phone number is 8800440559. Our email ID is training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. And on our YouTube handle NCERT Official, you can actually send us your questions, suggestions, and feedback. Now, it's a training program, and I've been telling you that on the last day of the training session, there is going to be an assessment. For the same, you need to visit our CIET website and please go through the guidelines very carefully. Watch all the sessions attentively, and if you score more than 70% in the assessment, you will be granted a certificate that you can download from DIKSHA portal. We wish you all the luck for the assessment, and now it's time to move ahead in the session and to introduce you all to my guests. So once again, for day 5, theme from awareness to action, building a culture of digital wellness, I'm joined by my guest, Dr. Sushmita Chakraborty. She is Associate Professor from Department of Educational Psychology and Foundations of Education, NCERT. Ma'am,
Namaskar.
namaskar and very warm welcome to you.
Namaskar, Harpreet, and namaskar to everybody.
And ma'am, happy Teachers' Day to you.
Same, thank you, same to you, and same to all our viewers.
Absolutely. And we are looking forward to learn a lot from you and whatever you're going to share with us today. Ma'am, it's a very important topic, and today
Definitely.
we are culminating this training program. So I want to understand the relevance of this topic and what all are the important points that you will be covering in the session today.
Thank you so much. Yes, it is a very important topic, Harpreet. Thank you. And I will try my level best to um, share with our viewers as much as it is possible within the stipulated time and as my capacity permits. So, today is the 5th day, as Harpreet has shared, and we are through this week we have been introduced to the understanding of what is digital wellness all
Right.
about. What is the concept, what are its different parameters, what is the meaning and what are the barriers of digital wellness,
Ji.
and then how does this digital platform has an impact upon our different dimensions of our human being, like our physical functioning, our emotional functioning, our mental functioning, and what are the things that one can do. But primarily the last 4 days was more about creating an awareness.
Okay.
So we were like hearing, we were understanding, we were building up our knowledge about how to, what it is all about.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about wellness, there are few things that are the benchmarks, I can say.
Yes.
And in that benchmark, the first step is awareness.
Yes.
So in the first 4 days, we have become aware about what is this all about digital wellness and why it is important. Just to give you a brief recap of what we have gone through, we all understand that digital world is something that is existing within us and around us everywhere.
Yes.
And no matter what, how much I like it or dislike it, we will have to live with it. We have to accept that. And with that thing, we have also realized that using of the digital platform may start as a very simple, very innocent step.
Yes.
And within no time, without even realizing when it happens, it starts dominating my life. I think whether it's a child or a student of class 6 or class 9 or 12 or a parent or a teacher or any adult, we all are going through this emotional turmoil as to ye kab mere saath ho gaya, and we don't even realize that 5 minutes though we know, it was just 5 minutes that I wanted to search for something, or I wanted to look for something, I wanted to know about something, and lo behold, I have spent more than 2 hours and doing things which I was not even intending to do.
Right.
So it kind of, the shift of control has moved from the individual to the device, to the platform, and that is where digital world or the digital platform in which we are existing parallelly has taken so much of importance in our everyday life. And I don't think we can say that it is only a concern for the students because it is impacting their learning, or it is a concern for those who are in the working world.
Right.
It is a concern for everybody, for someone who is a housewife, to a grandparent who has taken a retired life, to all, everybody. Nobody is left out of this digital world citizenship. So we have to understand why this is that we have done. And now that we have the understanding of what it is all about,
Right,
what it is all about, we have to focus now on what can be done. So that is why the primary call for today's session will be on building a culture of digital wellness, and moving from awareness to action. Because without an action, all the awareness makes no sense.
Absolutely, ma'am. Bilkul. Because we always say that awareness is the key.
Right.
And it's always.
But then with that key, we have to unlock
it. And we need to understand that prevention is always better than cure.
Definitely. Yes.
Yes.
So these sessions, all the 5 days sessions, are primarily targeted to become the preventive sessions, and to become the more protective sessions, so that we become aware.
Okay.
Now, if I can quickly share with you the
overview of the session.
Overview of this session, we will try to go through understanding a quick recap of what is digital wellness all about, why it is important, what are the different impacts that digital wellness has, what are the barriers to it, and then gradually we will move to who are the people involved in building this culture, what is this culture of digital wellness, and who are the people involved in it, what are the principles that guide this wellness part, and what is the role of these different stakeholders through whom we are creating this culture of wellness. So can we move to the can I have the PPT shared?
Right. And now I just want to say one thing, that we will go ahead with the presentation, ma'am, uninterrupted. And whatever questions we will be receiving from audiences and viewers, we will take them up in the end. But I have a request, please do not mark your attendance and ask relevant questions. Ma'am, please go ahead with the same. Thank you.
Thank you. So if I can have the
yes, we can have the PPT.
Thank you so much. So yes,
Right.
Can I have the
Yes.
next slide?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So, as I said, let's first take a quick relook at what is digital wellness. Digital wellness, like any other wellness or well-being, when we talk about, is about having an optimal a condition in which I'm able to optimally perform, function. जो मेरा the capacity that I have, I am able to give my 100% to that, right? So when we are talking about mental wellness, nowadays we talk a lot about wellness.
Yes, ma'am.
Physical wellness, mental wellness, emotional wellness, digital wellness, because digital is a part of us. Digi world is us.
Yes.
So digital wellness is again relating to this part of the wellness, pursuit of the optimal health and well-being through a balanced, responsible and mindful use of the technology. Please mark the important words of a balanced, responsible and mindful use of technology. Just now we had a talk about, that we are being overwhelmingly taken over by the digital world. So there again we kind of have a slip. So instead of that slip, we use the digital world. We have a control. So we know how much to use, when to use, how to use, and take responsibility of its use. And of course, we use it consciously with a awareness of what, how, and how much should I be using it for.
Yes.
What I'm using it for, how much it will benefit me, for exactly what is the purpose of my giving a valuable time into using of this platform for my benefit or for our benefit. What is the necessity? I don't think we need to talk much about it because we all know, but
All know,
still,
yeah.
the important thing is why this is necessity is because unlike other different aspects, this factor, this use of the platform is having an impact upon our physical self,
Okay.
our social self, our psychological self, including our emotional self. It has an impact upon our sleep patterns. It is impacting upon our eating preferences. It has an impact upon how much I'm able to retain. I think everyone, all our viewers will agree that we nowadays hardly remember any number, any telephone number. Sometimes we even forget our own numbers. Why? Because we are extremely dependent upon this person, this digital device, because it is so much easily accessible. I don't have to exercise my frontal lobe at all. So the power of retention, because of its not much of use for not just remembering a contact number, for many other things. If I have to remember a definition of something, if I have to remember some location, I don't have to. I just have to use my device and then go ahead. So the power of retention, the power of using my gray matter in the head, in the brain, is diminishing gradually. And because of that, our cognitive functioning is also reducing. Similarly, the fact also is coming towards our creativity, our use of emotional expressions. How much, if I have to express my emotion, I am not using my words. I always use an emoji. All I have to do is select an emoji. So that is it. And therefore, our use of our own mechanisms that are there within our body is getting cut off. And we all know that the more we use our body systems, the better they are better exercised.
Yes.
The way we use exercises, we go to the gym, we do yoga to maintain our physical body. Our internal body systems also need equal exercise, and that is the reason we do solve puzzles, we have quizzes, we do brain games, we have we encourage using different kinds of art form skills, because this gives us a lot of happiness, a lot of satisfaction. So when we are not doing them physically, we are not engaging with them, but doing all those through a device. It is the device who is giving us all the information. So our own body systems are not getting the adequate uh, engagement, the adequate exercise, the adequate effort that they have to exert in it, and therefore they are gradually slowing down. And therefore you would also see that even at very young age, tender ages, students are having issues with cervical, with postures have changed, specs on with high powers.
Yes.
They are having difficulty in communication.
True.
They don't know how to meet a stranger. In our childhood, forget our childhood, even I think a generation back also, there was not much problem. When guests come, it is quite comfortable, but nowadays no, children don't like meeting because we have become comfortable to interact with somebody who is across the screen.
And ma'am, also lack of confidence, self-confidence and
Bilkul.
self-worth.
Yes. We prefer to have an online shopping where there is no negotiation, no, give and take. Okay, fine, you give us in this rate, I'll take so much of quantity. There was so much of bonding happening. Now in online, you all do is select the stuff, you select the quantity, and it's delivered. No interaction, no transaction, nothing.
No moving out.
No moving out, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, nothing. So naturally, it is making us lot aloof, isolated from the real world. It's getting us cut off from the real world, and that cutting off from the real world is the actual concern of well-being. Because as a human being, we all know we are social animals. So we need social interactions for our own well-being. We need to hear a voice. We need to see a nod. We need to see the sparkle in somebody's eyes of appreciation, of recognition, of praise, of anger, of every emotion, bond, and all that, which unfortunately, when the transaction is through a device, that doesn't happen. Seeing a smiling face of your child vis-a-vis seeing an emoji sent by your child has a very big difference.
Yes.
Right? So that is where getting absorbed into using, and I won't say overusing, but yes, using without consciousness, unconsciously or without mindfully using digital device for every aspect of our life is limiting that social interaction, which is so very necessary for our mental well-being. And therefore it stems into that why this digital wellness is necessary, keeping at the same time the view that digital world, and as a digital world citizens, it is here for us to stay, and we are a part of it whether we want it or we do not want it. So since we have to stay, it is better that we become aware and we know what action to be taken in this direction. So now if I can move to the next slide. What is the impact? Why digital wellness is so much necessary? As I said, number one, already it helps us. It is a facilitator for our mental well-being. Secondly, it increases our focus, as I said, because when we are using the device for a particular purpose, my mind, my brain is still working. I am choosing what I am working for. I am making the need, generating that need, finding the pathways, rather than without being mindful, I am blindly using or getting attracted to the prompts that are coming to us. So I am extending in that way. Third is that I learn to have a balance. Also, I am able to benefit by using appropriately a physical and social activities, and it helps me to collate all these together while I am doing a digital I'm moving towards using digital for my mental well-being. It also facilitates, if I'm talking about digital well-being, it also may have an impact upon my real world connections. It can facilitate me. For example, when I am staying at a very far place and I'm not able to meet my friends regularly, so I can use this device, this platform, to have more frequent interactions, because it may not possible for me to go and physically meet them, right? So it does have its own benefits. It does have an impact upon our well-being as well. Next slide. Yeah. So the culture of digital wellness. Now here I would like to uh, put a little focus on what do we mean by the term culture. Culture is a common set of beliefs, practices, traditions, habits, languages that we use, values that we hold, dispositions that we have as a group of people. That those practices, those behaviors, the way we dress, the way we eat, the way we celebrate, all these make us identify as a particular group of people, right? And therefore, and the beautiful part of culture is that we learn this. It's a behavior that we learn, and not only we learn, this behavior is passed on from one generation to another generation. So when we talk about digital culture, it says that it has to have certain values, it has to have certain belief systems. Digital culture, the digital wellness world will be leaned to have certain practices, to hold up certain values, and it is something that we all have to learn, and it is also something that we will have to help our next generations or our other people with who are with us in our group, in our community, in our neighborhood, to learn and practice, so that all of us build that culture of digital wellness. Now, what is this culture of digital wellness? As you can see on the screen, digital wellness culture definitely goes beyond the individual habits. I may have a no digital zone, no cyber device time zone. But if my family members do not uh, practice it, if my friends do not practice it, if my workplace do not also practice it or respect it, then for not very long will I be able to uphold it, right? So culture of digital wellness is something that goes beyond the individual. Next, it is of course a very shared set of values, practices and norms, rules that we need to follow as a group. It's a shared uniform practice. Third, it is of creating an environment for mindful use of technology. An environment, we talk about a learning environment which is conducive for all children, right? True. Inclusive environment we talk about. Similarly, if we are considering digital wellness as a culture, then we all have to contribute towards making an environment where each and every member is mindfully using the technology for promoting digital wellness. Fourth, it is not only avoiding overuse but also using technology to support different activities which are functional, which are helpful for our survival, for our functioning, for our development, for our progress, like using technology for learning, for productivity, for creativity, for strengthening relationships, forming relationships, and expanding the social circle. So this again is a positive use of the platform, but refraining from the overuse. And finally, a digital wellness culture will also include ways of developing sustainability of the digital interactions. So it is not just that we do it for a day or two or for a month or sometime, but it is something which we practice every day, so much so that it becomes a part of our habit. And that is how we work. So that is how we function in our everyday life with the digital world. So this is what actually is the pillars of when we talk about creating a culture of digital wellness. If I can go to the next slide now. So now that we know what is this culture of digital wellness, let's understand who are the people who is involved in it. And as I said, culture is a group who creates, not an individual who creates. So obviously it means that it includes everybody, including the individuals, as all of us self. Of course, it involves the peer group, age mates, family members, siblings. It includes the working institutions, which is the educational institutions that we have, schools, colleges, universities, other educational institutions. We have professional institutions everywhere that we learn and grow. It also includes the workplaces, organizations where we go for earning our bread and butter. And of course, it includes also and primarily and most importantly the policy makers that we when we make certain policies. So all together we contribute towards building up that culture of digital wellness. Um, from this, I will move towards the next slide.
Okay.
Yeah. As I said when in the opening remarks, what are the principles? What are the principles that hold us for this and guide us in the slide is not moving. Yeah. That need to guide us while building up this culture of digital wellness, and it stands for all the stakeholders. What are these cultures? As you can see, principles you can see on the screen. It's primarily, most importantly, balance.
Yes.
Balancing. It's not about saying no, because saying no is not going to stand. We have to know how to use it, when to use it, and how much to use it. So balance of screen time and the real life.
Right.
A balance between screen life and the real life. Real life has its own advantages and of course disadvantages.
Absolutely, absolutely, because it is important to have healthy balance so that our screen time is not hampering us. It's not, harming us in any way, and we're also enjoying our real life at the same time.
Right. The second is setting the boundaries. Setting the boundaries means that, again, drawing a line of how much will I let the screen be a part of my life.
That's
and
right.
How much will I go offline.
Mm.
What all things will I do offline, and what are the things that I will prefer to do on the
Online.
screen,
Yes.
through the online mode.
Hmm.
So creating those boundaries and then sticking to it,
Absolutely.
making those as the non-negotiables. I will not, and it may sound very difficult, but I will not order food through online apps.
Rather cook it at home.
Rather cook it at home. Very difficult. But if I can stick to it, then I can at least create a boundary. It's just an example that I gave. Right? So we have to set, I have to set, all of us, all individuals, stakeholders who are involved in this culture, as I said in the previous slide, each one of us as stakeholders have to realize what is the boundary that we are going to set for ourselves during this digital usage. The third is being mindful, consciously using technology, as I earlier also said, the purpose of it. Otherwise, it becomes a blind game. I exercise myself into searching of something or engaging in something, and then endless number of pop-ins come in, links keep coming, and I just get carried away from one aspect into something which is very, very, very far away from the main act that I had started with. I could have started with searching for where I can go to the nearest, vacation place that I can have over the weekend, which would not have taken me more than 5 minutes.
Yes.
And without realizing, I move not only to from finding a place from where I stay for a short weekend vacation, and I move within few minutes. I move through those links and pop-ups into buying online something which I do not even need. It's just that I see it on the screen, those pop comes, I enter it, I enter some game, and I get engrossed in it. I purchase things which are not needed. Once a packet comes, it's just lying there unpacked, but I've bought it. So consciously using, and every time there is a transaction, whether it is personal, interpersonal relationship transaction, whether it's a financial transaction, whether it is something that you want to just browse through, everything needs to be questioned by us as to why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Will it be of my benefit to me? Will I need it something? Will my family need it? Will my friends need it? Does my organization need it?
True.
So the culture of all the stakeholders is now coming in it. Then comes inclusion. What is inclusion in this all about? The accessibility and the issue of digital equity. This is again a very sensitive place where we have to talk about how all of us who have different needs may or may not find it very comfortable to use the digital space. So something on which I am comfortable, my peer or my family member may not feel comfortable. So is it then that I am developing a culture of digital wellness, or is it that I am leaving out somebody, or I'm giving a feeling that you are not part of this world? I know this, but you do not. And similarly, the other person feels left out. So such kind of practices, of course, doesn't help us to have a very good or a conducive environment where we are promoting a culture of digital well-being. So therefore, inclusion is something that we all need to do consciously. And thankfully, we have technology support that can help us. And therefore, the most important thing comes is becoming aware of those all facilities that the technology extends to us, and not just becoming mere
victims of
victims
technology.
or puppets in the hand of the technology which we see on the surface.
Yes.
And the last point of the principles, the key principles, is, as I said earlier also, is the sustainability. Sustainability means simply knowing all these things that we have discussed just now, turning them into regular practices so and so that it becomes our habit. We do them automatically. We do not have to be consciously doing, okay, fine, this is my boundary, I will not. Boundary I have set, I am practicing every day, so I know that this is something that I don't do in online mode. This is something which I do automatically through an online mode. This is something which I have to learn to balance my screen life and my off screen life, and it is all a part of my habit, and therefore it becomes a long term way of everyday functioning. That is only when we are able to say that yes, we are working towards making a culture of digital wellness. We are developing a environment that promotes digital wellness. So if I can go to the next slide quickly. Now, as I said earlier, this is a quick glance. Maybe you can say this is the crux of the sessions that we are having. It's that we have awareness. We know what is the actions that has to be taken, and then it moves towards making the culture. Quickly, we'll go to the next slide. barriers. So before we move to what we do, let's also recognize, because this is again awareness, knowing very well ki these may be the blocks that we face. What are these blocks? Habitual overuse, because we by now we all have got into the habit of overuse. So we need to exert a little more into creating that balance, into creating those boundaries. So the habitual overuse is going to be a barrier for us. The limited awareness of different alternatives, that is also a barrier. Most of us know a few things, but then the digital platform has varied accesses. So you can access many of these. And I think CIT itself provides so many platforms, so many enrichment sessions to provide what are the different, ways of becoming digitally aware. So one can become very consciously become part of those different enrichment programs and enhance your awareness capacities. Next is the tremendous fear of missing out. FOMO has become a part of our student world. Every student wants to be there on the digital world, visible on the digital world. Doesn't matter if one is not visible on the real life, but digital world existence is must. You don't have a Facebook account? Oh my God. You don't have a Twitter, Insta? You're not posting on your Insta account? Oh my God. What are you doing? Life is meaningless. This fear of God, oh, I am missing out on so much, is something which is a big barrier. We have to learn to deal with that fear by the alternative is, what is the alternative? If I miss out, what is going to lose? Will my friendship break? Will my bonds break? Well, if the friendship, the bond, the connection is based through an interaction on the device, on the screen, then maybe we need to question that bond a little more. So we have to learn to overcome the fear, to challenge that fear and move forward. That is a very big barrier. Then, of course, the culture that I talked about, we have always this, uh, immediately we have to respond back. There is a WhatsApp message from uh, from my workplace. There is an email from the workplace. There is something that I have to reply back, and notifications come. So every time a ping comes, one becomes cognitively and emotionally alert.
Yeah.
That I have to perform now. I have to reach out to it. I have to attend to it. And that is where constant uh, performance, constant active, becoming alert and performing becomes a barrier. And that itself sets in lot of psychological fatigue. That is not good for our mental well-being. So again, this kind of a phenomena where we expect that from our workplace, wherever we are working, whether it's as a student or as a teacher, as a parent, all of us, if we have this kind of an understanding that a message comes, so I have to immediately get back, leaving behind whatever I am doing, that is again a fear. That also has to be challenged and overcome. And of course, the social and peer pressure that I have already talked about. So that is something again that we have to stand up with. Work commitments, and of course, the different the different designs, very captivating, very appealing kind of information that come draws us into certain specific platforms, and once we are in it, we are not able to come out of it. Games are there, lots of things are there which appeal to us a lot. So these are few of the barriers, but most of it, most importantly of it, it is all within us. Those barriers are within us. Those barriers are something that we have developed within us. And so how we respond to those fears, those barriers is very important. Do we let ourselves get overcome by those fears, or do we develop our resilience? Do we develop our hardiness to stand up and resist those fears? Is where our culture of digital wellness will actually survive, or the question of its sustainability comes in. So if I can now go to the next slide. Yes. So what are the pathways now for moving from action to building the culture? Let's go on to the next slide. So let's start with the individual. At the individual level, as I said, primarily it will begin with about setting the personal screen time limits. How much time within 24 hours will I give? Most of us have the habit of checking our phone soon after I get up in the morning or just before I go off to sleep, in between every break that I have. So unconsciously, without realizing that I am getting into a habit of checking my screen space again and again, I have to consciously make a time limit, set a time separate where I will engage with the screen. Individually also we can have downtime, as often we say, keeping the phone down, ulta karke, or turn it down, turn it opposite and just lock it. Or from the color page that we have on our screens, set a time where it will go all black and white. And it is research proven that the colors that we see on the screen are also a point which helps us to get attracted to it. And if you turn it into black and white, you will see that it doesn't appeal you so much. And you turn it on, if you see a black and white screen, it kind of reduces your appeal for spending time on it. So that can be an also option that we learn to have a downtime or a timeout or a sleep time. And of course, digital detox. Often nowadays, digital experts say that every day in a week, decide a day when we are not going to have interaction on the digital platform, just away from the digital devices. No laptop, no tab, no phone, nothing. So very difficult to think, right? But yes, that is something we need to do if we are committed towards promoting a culture of digital wellness. At individual level, we have to do it. And of course, we have to encourage the same among all our surrounding individuals. Next is notifications that we get. I just now mentioned about how the notifications is kind of, constant alert. When we drive, if somebody is again and again honking, pressing the horn, do we feel comfortable?
No.
No, it's a distraction, right? Similarly, having those notifications, pop-ups is also actually a distraction for our brain.
They lure us.
They allure us. They are a problem for our attention. They break our attentiveness as a process. And therefore, it is actually of harm. So, if we are wanting to work upon and have a realistic screen time, reduce the notifications. Let's not have notifications from the social media platforms. Set time when we will engage ourselves in the social media. Notifications can be from those places which are important, urgent, those which need our attention. So we have to decide which are the ones that needs an attention and therefore the notification is required, and which are the ones which do not need, which I can hold on.
Absolutely. So if you really are tempted to do a lot of shopping online, but you don't want to splurge that much and you have this awareness that this is doing you no good, better you turn off those notifications.
Yes. Then it is like consciously engaging. We always say that, engage in hobbies. But here, if we want to develop that culture of digital wellness, it is very important that we consciously engage in some offline hobbies.
That's right.
Interactions, physical activities. Go out and do some gardening, walking, nature observing, helping you to connect with the real world that is around you. And lastly, encourage social gatherings, becoming part of social activities, take initiative. If nobody is coming forward, let's take initiative individually to meet our neighbors, friends, families once in a while. Pick up the call instead of sending a chat and talk. Next slide. Yeah. Now what comes at the family and the friends level or the peer level? An extension of the individual, if I can say quickly. If I as an individual is making a screen time, a specific screen time, then definitely my family, the peer will also need to agree with it, and all of us need to have a time zone where devices are not. For example, no device, no electronic gadgets, no digital world transactions, interactions on the dining table. When we are eating, it's our time. It's our time for one-to-one interactions. When decide as a family or as a peer group which are the spaces or the corners in your 24 hours where it will be a one-to-one interaction, a group interaction, not a device through interaction. Encourage face-to-face conversations. Your friend is calling or messaging on the chat, dial and call back. Said, I want to hear your voice. Let's talk. Why are we talking? Let's meet. Difficult to meet. We are not able to meet each other. We are staying in two different corners of the city. Fine, let's do a video call. We'll be able to see each other. So find out ways where it will be just a little more intimate, a little more one-to-one, a little more togetherness. Parents, of course, are the role models. So if I want my children at home to have a screen time set, then even we need to have a screen time set, because children learn from our behavior, not from what we say. So if we are encouraging, we as teachers are encouraging that children should keep themselves away from device, games, etc., then we also have to refrain from it and respect those spaces, corners, time zones that are set. Maybe we decide as a family or decide as a group of friends that these are the days or these are the times when we are not going to have a screen between us for interaction. Right. And of course, we organize, as I said earlier also, I'm saying again and again, digital spaces are something that we are having there with us always, right? So let's have organize or let's conduct activities, plan activities which are without screen. And I'm sure you will find many. There'll be many activities that can be done without the screen time. That can be where we hold ourselves responsible for having those spaces or activities in which we can work. Now for our educational institutions, I quickly go through it. Integrating the digital wellness into our everyday functioning of the school. Like in the school itself, we make it a policy that we have sessions on digital healthy habits, digital exposures that are there. We restrict the times, we restrict the interactions, we make students literate about the digital platforms. Right. And become aware of how we can blend online and offline learning environments, learning activities. And a very important factor is that we help our students to learn digital etiquettes, manners which exist in our real life the digital world also has certain digital manners.
Yes.
And these are the etiquettes which we need to learn.
True.
So these are the some factors that we have to, and of course, in this, all the stakeholders within the school, the teachers, the non-academic staff, school heads, administration, and everybody, they also need to be constantly trained and made aware about the various facets of digital awareness. So just saying a no will not help. We have to replace the no with something much more appealing, much more attractive, and much more engaging than the fulfillment, the satisfaction that one may have from a digital platform usage.
Absolutely. Start reading a book, holding a book in your hand and smelling those fresh pages give you
That's
another kind
right.
of high. So, as ma'am said, it's not important only to set the boundaries and saying no, but also to replace it with something substantial and worth doing. Ma'am, it's a very interesting topic, but we do not have enough time left. So, we
I
have
can
to wrap up the
understand.
session over here.
Yeah.
But you've already answered all my questions and you provided us insights regarding digital wellness on day 5 session. So, thank you so much for your time and contribution.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. My dear viewers, it's time for me to wrap up this session of ours. Well, under the umbrella theme of digital wellness, today on day 5, we talked about a very important topic. It is the culmination of the training program, and we learned about awareness and action, this entire journey. Also, building a culture of digital wellness. And as I mentioned earlier, please go and attempt the assessment on CIET website and do read the guidelines before doing that. So here I'm wrapping up the session, and before I leave, let me give you quick information regarding textbooks which are available for grade 4 and 7 on Amazon, Flipkart and NCERT website. Simultaneously, take a quick look at the schedule, what's all coming ahead. So, in a short while from now, you can watch our sessions here where we will be talking about digital dependency. And at 5:30 p.m., we will bring you a session of school leadership development by NCSL NIPA, where we will be talking about a government high school in Punjab and the accomplishments made by its head teacher. So, with this as a wrap, this is me, Harpreet Kaur, taking leave of you, and we'll join you soon. Namaskar.